Good evening, good evening, good evening. Oh. Yeah, it's not going great
An
for me.
unidentified object has been located in the system. The artifact reacts to our transmissions by releasing unknown radiation, most likely of Xeno origin, the cogs are reporting. If you want to get a closer look, we need to close the distance between the vessel and the object.
Okay. Oh. Yes, it's not going so well for me. It seems the shit I have is not improving. It's really going back and forth. Really going back and forth. Mental damage? Need to actually... Okay. Contracts. Raise to the top. Hive, Foxling 6 undermine the influence of subsector of Capital Planet. The government agencies a rare mineral help Foxling's industry. Plus profit. Okay. From me. Yeah, we can go that. We can complete that one. Class steel, yeah. Oh, complete 20 contracts. Really? Less than 1.2% has complete 20 contracts? That's actually kind of surprising, honestly. Okay. We were going to look here. What do we have here? We can't do anything here. We need mechanisms to make this. Mechanisms. Biologist. Dark Sage. We want this. Because this feels really good. Okay, profit factor +2. Generic. Let's make this one profit factor +4. Adherent. And we get stuff we can sell. Yeah, that sounds great. Okay. That is finished. Okay. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. It's kind of me being late, needing to deal with stuff, still waiting for a phone call. We will see what will happen. We will see what will happen. If I get a call, I'm going to mute myself and leave a bit. Okay.
At first it looked like the snowy and desolate planet was devoid of surprises, but the yellow and orange flickering of the lumens and the notifications from the auger system informed the officers there was a small colony that survived in spite of the harsh climatic conditions.
Send out
All
the scout
attempts to
party.
hail the colony have failed. The explorers report the dismal condition of the settlement and its inhabitants. Their skin is translucent and pale, their icy blue eyes see practically no color, their language is rough and guttural, and their stomachs cannot tolerate anything except a stew made from local roots and mosses. And yet they are subjects of the Imperium, still loyal to the Emperor. They have mistaken your people for his emissaries.
Found out what happened on the world.
The local elders woefully reminisced about times long gone. Most of them were still sheltered in their mothers' wombs when snow first settled on the verdant fields. Hail ruined the crops and frost hardened the soil. Plants and large beasts that could not sustain themselves were the first to go. They were soon followed by birds and other small animals. Most people in large cities perished, unable to warm themselves and their families. They say the governor and his entourage left the world in the first days of winter, taking all the provisions and fuel with them. No one responded to the pleas from this dying world. The stars remained deaf to the messages transmitted by the planet's Vox stations. These abandoned subjects of the Imperium still managed to save the machines and other valuables, but they were of little use without a supply of promethium. And yet those who survived eventually adapted to the tribulations that the God Emperor had bestowed upon them.
Take any machinery from the colonists and abandon them in the freezing world.
Your people had little difficulty subduing the locals. Nobody had the strength to resist. Gaunt and exhausted by their miserable lot, they dolefully watched on as the invaders carried away the wealth, machines, and possessions laboriously scrounged together by generations of their ancestors. The shuttles, glutted with their society's toil, soared high above the oppressive clouds, far out of reach. There was nothing left to help them survive, but who cares about other people's misery?
That has to be one of the worst things I've done. No question about it. Absolutely worst things I've done. That feels bad, that feels bad for me personally.
Look out, Bridge, we have an unknown object, dead ahead. Not an asteroid, clearly artificial in nature, but it's larger than Footfall Station. Bridge, copy that. Report relayed to officer on duty and pilots. Look out, expect visual soon. Bridge, we have visual. What the? Incoherent whispering. Bridge, look out, this is the Vox Master. I'm adding the pilots, senior officers, and the Lord Captain to this channel. Her Ladyship wishes to assume personal command. Look out, Lord Captain, we have requested intel on the object from the Auger Array module. Awaiting their response.
Lord Captain on the line, no need to engage the augers. I know what it is, it's called a webway gate.
Officers Station, Van Calarx here. What we see before us is a webway gate. An artifact that Xenos use to get to their sorceress realm, so to speak. It allows Aldrai to get around the sector quickly and serves as a hideout for their most unpleasant tribe, the Druckery, whom we have already met. Officers Station, Juliet here. This gate is just like the one you saw on the Lilithan. The children of Asurion wander the void through such constructs, erected in ancient times. Any ship that passes through such a portal will enter a tangle of paths fathomable to none but my kin.
Is there an auger report?
Tech use test succeeded. Bridge, according to available data, the object consists of an unknown material foreign to the Imperium. We are registering an unknown class of energy profile. The engineers are at a loss about how this technology works exactly, but they did specify that the energometry suggests that the system is holding an active charge. The object appears ready to do whatever it's designed to do.
Can we activate the device somehow?
Bridge, requesting response from the Enginarium. Bridge, apologies, Lord Captain, the tech priests have refused even to consider such a possibility. It would be a violation of the Omnisara's tenets and an extremely dangerous undertaking.
Bridge, perhaps a certain companion of yours could?
Bridge, perhaps a certain companion of yours could. Officers Station, even if I knew the secret of this gate, I would never surrender it to the Monkey. The Woodway is our kin's sacred refuge and a deadly trap to those such as you, Ellen Tatch.
What is the senior officer's take on this?
Officers Station, Van Calarx here. What we see before us is a Woodway gate. An artifact that Xenos use to get to their sorceress realm, so to speak. It allows Aldrai to get around the sector quickly and serves as a hideout for their most unpleasant tribe, the Druckery, whom we have already met.
Enough with the mystery. We're changing course and moving out.
Bridge, yes, Lord Captain. Maneuver engines. Changing course.
Okay. Okay. So that means, I don't know what that means, honestly. Might I'd have...
A warp breach. Ungodly fiends spreading sorcerous disease walk the lower decks, gathering a cohort of infected voidsmen.
Nope.
If no measures are taken immediately,
We are dealing with it ourselves again.
Curiosity sings in my veins. Another annoyance. Come to chaos.
Okay, so Pascal goes first. Okay. Start battle. We are going to do that.
My vow is to serve.
Then,
The scriptural prognosis is favorable.
bye-bye.
The air temperature drops a few degrees.
Running binaric override.
Okay. So, Pascal is up and running. Yeah, they're going to throw a ton of gas on us. How the fuck did that hit?
As the Emperor commands.
I don't know how you actually hit them, but don't matter to me.
Doubt is for the weak. Faith without deeds is... It's nothing.
Oh, my ears are ringing. At your beck and call.
Hey.
Indeed.
Get that. He's
At
stunned.
your beck and call.
And, yeah.
Death and unbelievers.
I feel nothing. Fear nothing. Pain cleanses the body.
Oh, parry, parry. Does have a parry battle. Okay, so... Can we... We can get there, yeah?
The shadows will see it done. Trust me. Death is a blessing.
Okay.
As honor
What's up with
ordains.
all the... We're really low on momentum. Do I need to have more resolve overall in the group? Maybe?
Am I getting paid for this?
Weirdly enough, it's only these battles that are really weird in that way.
I incentive.
Too bad. I'm still standing.
Okay. Force redemption no longer increases the level. Wait, if I do this,
A maelstrom of madness!
hey,
Tell me, and it is done.
yeah, that's toxic. That's maybe not the best.
Sounds become unbearably loud.
I've suffered worse.
Yeah. That is what we wanted.
A genius! Another one is shattered. I am your doom. My fate
Really?
me. Out of my way. I will endure.
And we can get 2 here. You get those 2 or those 2. Let's get the 2 in the back. Okay. Rear increased damage. Yep. It's so thick with
As
gas.
crystals appear in the air.
Injured. I'm enraged.
Okay.
From the ashes, I will rise.
Okay, so we are going to do that.
Injuries will not slow me.
And then
I'll do it.
I feel like letting it rip. Yeah. Okay. That area is cleared.
I act.
Okay.
Sounds become unbearably loud.
Pain is but an illusion.
Let's. Yeah, let's
It will
just
be done.
take care of you.
Target.
First round
tenants demand.
3. Okay, so we do that. Then you go bye-bye.
Brings me no pleasure. I would that I could.
We jump up here. Then we jump over here. And then we stab in the back.
My blade, death is a blessing.
And that should be all. Oh no, we have one cultist hiding in the corner all the way over there. Are you coming up? Yes, you're coming up. Good for you. Can I see? Yeah, I can see you, yeah.
I've got a prize.
Oh, fuck. That's a lot of things. Can you actually hit that? 67% chance. Do that. That's one hit. Then we do that. And come on. You hit. Great.
Oh, pain soothes my soul. What lies
Pain and beauty go
Okay,
hand in
we
hand.
are finished with that. And we collect all. Sure. Accept. Okay. Profit factor gained 6. What is... Okay, so we finished off? Oh yeah, we finished off. Okay, yeah, nice. And was it here? Security, but we gain more Fellowship of the Void. Fulfill the Expanse. And that means we can get either this. No, we can get either this. I think we're going Filth of Expanse. Because that's going to multiply those. We're going to have less security. But at the same time, Imperial Navy plus 5k is really nice though. I'm not going to deny. But Filth of the Expanse is what we're going for. Because we're going more and more into Fellowship of the Void. Block. So we need Callus Backland. Okay. What do we have here? What do we have here? Okay. Let's scan these planets and get on with it. No. Oh, we actually have Wastelands Wayfarers. Food. Won't say no to food. Yeah. Oh, I remember this one. Oh yeah, we need to talk to the astropath. I totally forgot about that.
Patience. Oh, my nerves are frayed.
The airlock is sealed. This isn't right. You distinctly remember never activating the seal on your way through.
I know I am about to state the obvious, but I will state it anyway. There's something off about this. Something very off.
Open the airlock, tech use.
The control panel is being uncooperative. You know enough about machine spirit behavior to conclude it is not malice that is making them refuse to comply, but a higher priority order they are executing.
Okay.
After repeating the command entry protocol 3 times, with all the appropriate prayers, the tech priest says in a gloomy, raspy voice.
The machine spirit controlling this airlock is too simple and guileless to be tricked. It would be easier to deconstruct this airlock than to compel it to open.
Contact the ship, this is the rogue trader speaking. We're having difficulties here.
The white noise of static is all you hear in response. Either the Vox Master cannot reply, or she is brazenly ignoring you, or comms are being jammed. None of these possibilities bode well.
Okay. Let's have a look
How
around here.
intriguing.
Awareness.
You hear a strange sound that reminds you of dripping water, or the clattering of something sharp against metal.
I am the rogue thread.
Crimson is
The
a good
ventilation
colour for
system
battle
still
attire.
works.
Enemies
There are
will
strange
perceive no
gouges on the
weakness,
metal. They
not
look
even
like the
if you're
claw marks
bleeding.
of some beast that was trying to crawl into the shaft.
Augmentations allow me to function effectively, even in the event of extensive
Last pistol.
This is what should concern
What do we have in here? We had.
stands against the servant of the Omnissiah in battle.
Okay, we got some stims. A last pistol.
They will see. Oh, yes, they all will see.
Okay. Oh my god. Oh my. Yeah. This is a lot of text. That is a lot of text.
What is that?
The metal box was brutally forced open. Why would the ship's owners break into it if they could simply turn the
Unexpected
key?
result.
hand flamer. Nothing more of interest.
One step at a time, amidst the madness.
Okay, let's have a look over here. That's where we were.
Hunched over the Voxcaster, the hooded man mutters monotonously but emphatically into the microphone as he rocks slightly to and fro.
In the light of distant stars our Emperor Progenitor wanders wearily. With thoughts and visions of us, he sends us particles of his light. Though his body suffers, his mind lingers on us. Let us therefore nourish him with the light of our souls, with our prayers, with our faith.
Argenta frowns.
The faithful worship the Emperor under a great many names and after a great many fashions. And yet, I do not like this prayer.
Put your hands off and put your hands up and take off the hood, and don't make any sudden movements, or else you'll be dead before we're properly acquainted.
The man falls silent. A satisfied chuckle, without a hint of fear, comes from under his hood.
As long as our Father Progenitor thinks of me, I am eternal.
With a pale hand, he throws back his hood. You see an ugly face, with a flat, wide nose, disproportionately large brow ridges, irisless eyes with enormous pupils, a wide toad-like mouth, and skin that transitions to purple scales at the cheekbones. Standing before you is an abominable Sabuman, a mutant.
Yep.
Welcome to the abode of the Nourishers. 3 sorrowful phalanges point the way to the Emperor Progenitor. I am glad you have chosen ours.
Look closer at the misshapen man.
This being's nature has strayed too far from mankind's blessed genome. The creed sees no humanity in deviations like these, and so it commands that such creatures be exterminated without mercy.
Who are you?
The man smiles the broadest smile his abominable mouth can produce.
I am Lecoct, Clamavus of the Nourishers of the Afflicted. I am he who speaks to our progenitor. This ship belongs to me.
Not really, no, but I'm not going to argue with you. What was the muttering? A prayer?
I was praising the Emperor Progenitor so that my brothers and sisters might repeat the sacred words with me. Under stars unknown, he keeps his vigil, and sends us his light. He is exhausted and maimed, but in his graciousness, he does not allow himself to forget us. And we are grateful. We know that our prayers will quell his agonizing hunger, and therefore we speak to him. We beckon him so that one day, he and his faithful may come to take us under his care.
The man rocks gently in place as he makes his speech.
It was you and your accomplices who sealed the airlock, was it not?
My brethren have sealed the entrance. But you will be able to leave, later. With us. We are all going to leave this place.
Is there anybody else here? Your brothers and sisters?
Indeed, afflicted one. You have nowhere to run.
Yeah, I understand this is a trap. Okay, yeah.
The mutant shrieks, grinning.
May the grace of our progenitor be upon you.
His words are piercing, becoming a shrill echo of 100 voices. Minds. Growing ever louder, it torments your mind, and before you know it, you reach for your weapon.
You are my next offering.
You hear a clanging echo growing louder in the empty modules, like hundreds of clawed limbs striking bulkheads and grabbing onto bars.
Yep.
Whoever is advancing upon you, there are a lot of them. Argenta's expression brightens.
Countless foes and a cumbersome position. O Emperor, I thank thee for giving us another chance to taste the sweetness of battle and the solemn joy of courageous deeds.
Of course. Of course. Of course. What is going on? Of course she is looking for a fight. Why am I not surprised? Okay.
Sister, I fear we are about to partake of something quite different. Or, more likely, someone is about to partake of us.
Make a dash for the Voxcaster and try to contact the ship.
The Vox spits out a torrent of static, through which you nonetheless manage to catch fragments of words spoken by a voice not unlike that of your Vox master. Von Valenk. Command. Knock. The signal is lost before you manage to say anything.
Let us seize the moment.
Heavy leather armor. Oh, we got a heavy stubber. That's an interesting one.
There will be no peace in my wake. I will be your end.
Advancing.
Okay,
Running by
boost
their
everyone. And
cogitation fails.
okay. Why is it running from us?
God Emperor, move through me. Be the fire in my
What
heart.
is on the hunt? The creature is thirsty for blood and he is hunting the rogue trader's party. Okay, yeah.
Faith without deeds.
Joke's
is
on you.
worthless.
This is no longer a hunt. Not a hunt for you, it's a hunt for me.
I'll do it. As the Emperor commands, I act. This is why I was chosen.
My place is at the fore.
Death comes in silence.
I know what I'm doing, usually.
17 hits so far. I think you need a few more.
I'll do it. Faith without deeds is worthless.
Up to 20.
Am I getting paid for this?
Yeah, what do we have here? Slowed? Yep, good.
As the tactical imperative dictates.
Huh. What if...
Yeah. I'm not hiding from you. You're hiding from me.
Doubt is for the weak.
Are we going this? Yep.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
I'm hoping to... Nah. Didn't actually get a kill on them.
I will do my duty.
They dodged it both, huh?
I bring mercy and retribution.
Watch my back.
I want to take that one out. It's going to get taken out next turn anyway.
I can do that with the right incentive. I'll do it. For you, my emperor!
Okay.
Faith without deeds is why I was chosen. Don't get too cocky.
Pop that on you. Round 3. We got ourselves another gene stealer over here. Okay.
Heavy is the tread of his faithful.
That's... They got knocked... Oh, they actually heal up, huh? No burning, no burning.
Let's see. Schemes within schemes.
Yeah.
Och det är Ann-Kristin. Han kommer här.
Okay, so back again. Oh, they're actually on fire again.
I am his will made manifest.
I think I'm probably not it.
Guided by faith.
Yeah, we should just focus you down.
Each stroke is a prayer.
That is probably the best idea, is take them out one by one. Okay.
A dance of blades and shadows.
You've got a problem. I've got a price.
Okay, we got one shot off.
Doubt is for the weak. For you, my emperor. I'll do it.
We're up to 50 stacks. That means, yeah, we're... versatility is going up as well.
Explorers know one route. Forward. Request approved.
Okay.
Running binaric override.
Stack that more on you. And it's running again, huh? Colt ambush. What is that? Colt ambush. On the hunt. On the hunt.
Through the smoke and gunfire. Oh, a wicked thought. Oh, a genius at work.
That is a fair bit of fire damage. And you just place yourself
As
so
the Emperor
fantastic
commands, I
right
act.
in front of me there.
Faith without
And
deeds is worth.
Abelard is going on the hunt.
It will be done. Indeed.
Colt ambush. What does that mean? I don't understand fully what that means, but yeah.
It will be done. At your beck and call.
I am your blade and
Okay.
shield.
A moving target lives longer.
Activate calculate fury algorithm.
Shattered foes in my wake. Let's see.
61.
What if?
25.
Behold my artistry!
141 burning damage. Oh, that's a bit.
Rejoice in battle!
I've seen worse battles than this in my time. I will do my duty.
Okay. Don't really have a way. Have we explored all the planets here? That was the one we just were on. 2 provision. You know what? Fuck it. Let's grab them.
A small planet gently wrapped in amber forests greets you with a ruby-colored dawn. Basil von Dem Klick, the local governor, gives the rogue trader a warm welcome. After several glasses of Damascene, the sweltering ruler asks if Octavia the Fire Axe von Valancius would like to keep him company during the upcoming hunt.
Yeah, accept offer.
After several hours of riding the local peculiar animals, you make camp in the middle of a golden forest. Basil von Dem Klick points at the sky. A flat disk rises over the horizon, constantly morphing its color and shape. The forest grows silent and empty, you can no longer hear the singing of birds or even the rustle of wind. The governor nods with satisfaction, and a few shapes step into the clearing. Their bodies are twisted by an unknown phenomenon, and you watch the freaks with astonishment as they begin to dance to the throaty cackling of their brethren, turning the bony growths and pulsating flesh of their scaly hands toward the unnatural thing in the sky.
Ask the governor what's going on.
The governor smiles coyly. You are about to see with your own eyes what is happening here.
Watch in silence.
The hypnotic dance seemed to continue forever. The unfortunate creatures howled, whined and convulsed, unable to tear their bleeding eyes from the celestial body. When the Pavonine disk outshone even the light of the local star, the physical shells of the things that used to be men burst, releasing beasts onto this plane that not even the most fluent and capable pen could describe. Basil von Dem Click excitedly explains that the creatures you saw are the children of the great king of distortion. It is he who is the true god and patron of these fertile grounds. Once every cycle his chariot shines its light upon the world and bestows transformations upon his most ardent followers. The rogue trader may become one of his heralds.
Express the desire to become the herald of the king of distortion.
The governor practically shrieks with delight, and more eyes open on his hands and neck to give you a closer look. You must speak with the god in the chariot himself and surrender to him whatever you value most in life.
Order the crew to chart course to the anomaly known as the King of Distortion.
The senior officers observe suspicious activity emanating from the twisted celestial body at the heart of the system. The chaplain advises you to get ready for a potential encounter with spawn of the archenemy, so it may be wise to reconsider unless you have holy relics, sacred wards, or blessed effigies of the Emperor. Aflame with a plethora of colors, the distorted celestial disk trembles slightly beyond the endless windows on the captain's bridge as the rogue trader's ship approaches its center. Another worldly voice, cold and enveloping, enters your mind. What could this puny wretch possibly offer a king? The officers on the bridge look around, perplexed. Their eyes are full of terror and confusion. Many clutch their heads and let out long howls of pain. Some empty their stomachs. But most, pale and exhausted though they are, have joined the Lord Captain in resisting the entity's influence.
Ask who you are talking to.
An endless flow of images fills your consciousness. You see horrifying scenes of millions of tortured souls. Their screams rend your mind. Their pain pierces you with 1,000 red-hot needles. King. Ruler. The one who is obeyed. That's all you can make sense of, although you see much more.
Wish to become the herald of the King of Distortion.
The king is intrigued. Never before has a mortal sought to obtain his divine blessing. All you have to do is claim ownership of Amberworld and not interfere with the events unfolding on the planet. If the king is pleased with you, he may even let you collect tribute from his playthings.
Swear fealty to the king and promise to fulfill his request.
Acerbic laughter fills your head as the enormous distorted disc vanishes from the void ship's augers as if it had never been there. The golden forests of Amberworld look enchanting, even from orbit.
Proclaim yourself sovereign of the Amberworld.
The estates of Amberworld now belong to you alone. The blessings of the King of Distortion kept spreading over the world, no longer affecting just humans. Even the birds and beasts are now subject to its divine influence. Like a true herald, you must protect this promised garden from any dangers or outside threats.
Demand tribute from the Amberworld.
A dozen containers stained with blood and marred with unusual substances make their way onto your ship's cargo hold. The King of Distortion favors you, and you can feel it.
Take our leave.
The golden forests of Amberworld look enchanting, even from orbit.
Okay, so got a lot of heretical relics from that's for sure.
The clan servicing the cooling systems have reported an incident of sorcery. The shadows in the cabins and corridors are coming to life.
Pascal is the
The voidsmen say they see strange writhing things lurk in nooks and crannies at the edge of their vision. If they look away, the things spread over the room, gnawing on everything in their path and attacking the weak and infirm.
Order the deck
The strange
purified with
creatures.
fire.
The controlled scorching of decks is a labor-intensive but very familiar process for the voidsmen serving under the ship's infernus master. The evacuated chambers were set on fire, burning away all filth and heresy from the darkest corners. The shadow skulkers vanished without a trace, and the denizens of the cooling systems breathed a sigh of relief.
Okay, we are going to... Oh, Machine Spirit Communion. We still have that one. Okay. We are going to go to the bridge, and we need to talk to our navigator, because that is a quest we haven't really dealt with in quite a while, and I feel like we need to deal with that. And it's really slow. Oh yes, yes. Here's actually the drops from the event currently on Twitch. The drops that you can get, and I'm interested to see what these. The wearers has a chance to reduce resolve % chance to reduce incoming damage to 0. That's interesting. That's absolutely interesting. Is this something I'm going to use? No, I don't think so. That's fairly good for you, isn't it? You're dogmatic, right? Oh, yeah. J is iconoclast. Don't really have anything that is like, oh my god, it's perfect for you. Can we put it on J? Yeah, I think we're going to put it on J. Increase every stat. I feel like I need more overall boosts to stats. What is it that is giving me 5 of everything? I do not remember. I do not remember, that's for sure. We have those. I kind of want to use those, but we don't have a reliable way of lighting the ground on fire. That is my biggest problem. Other than that, I think I would actually use them. Yeah, that's just cool. Okay, so we needed to deal with... There's a few things I need to deal with on the ship, so we're going to take care of that. Talked with Henrik.
Heinrich looks at you intently, his head tilted.
You wanted to discuss the nature of your mission?
Yes, but not here. I wouldn't want our conversation to be gossip fodder on the bridge and in the officers' mess.
Okay.
Heinrich nods slightly.
Thank you for finding an opportunity to talk. I trust now would be a good time to explain the reason for my return aboard your ship.
I welcome the chance to assist the Inquisition. I do not object to you personally, but I find it contagious.
2. I do not object to you personally, but I find the continuous presence of an Inquisition agent at my side slightly unnerving.
Your concern is unfounded, as long as there is no substantial reason for it.
Oh,
I
there's
hope there will
probably a
not be
lot.
one. To business, then. The cult of the Final Dawn. The madmen preach their heretical doctrine among the denizens of the Coronis Expanse and instigate crimes against the throne and humanity. One such crime took place in your protectorate. The Lord Inquisitor considered it necessary to have one of his acolytes accompany the rogue trader on the voyage into the corrupted region. I also need to meet with one of my observers on the capital world of your domain.
A chaos cult in my protectorate, Hennings. Are you laying accusation against my dynasty?
Chaos treads softly, Octavia the Fire Axe. The main danger of secret cults and sects is that they are like seeds. They can remain in the ground for decades, safe from all scrutiny, until an opportunity to sprout, grow, and bear monstrous fruit presents itself. The emergence of a cult on one of the rogue traders' planets does not mean the dynasty head herself is a chaos worshipper. Having said that, it should be noted that Theodora von Valancius was famous for her loose interpretation of the freedoms granted by the warrant.
Heinrichs regards you with a probing look.
A bloodline can be stained by ancestral transgressions. If it is indeed so, it is in your best interests to do whatever necessary to redeem yourself, and then, perhaps, you will get a chance to salvage your dynasty's reputation.
Why would the Ordo Xenos agent investigate a chaos cult?
You are well versed in how the Inquisition is organized, Octavia the Fire Axe. Yes, initially our arrival in the Coronis Expanse was dictated by the need to fight Xenos. But there is more. The cult is tangentially related to my main specialization. Perhaps I will be able to reveal the full truth someday, but right now I ask you to display humility and patience.
The Lord Inquisitor mentioned in his letter that he is willing to show leniency towards my action that would otherwise be interpreted as radical.
Heinrichs nods.
That is correct. I should show greater tolerance for the mistakes of a newly appointed rogue trader. To be frank, I am surprised. The Lord Inquisitor is not the type to indulge the weakness of soul and mind, even in someone who only recently accepted the burden of a lofty title.
You have spies in the von Valancius worlds?
The person I mentioned is not a spy but a secretary in the administrative department on Dargonis. The planet's governor and Theodora were fully aware of his status. His duty is to fulfill the sacred oath to the Golden Throne and eliminate threats to the Imperium, which the Coronis Expanse has in abundance. His name is Achilles Scalander. As soon as we contact Dargonis I will introduce you as the new head of the dynasty. I am sure you will appreciate the presence of such an advisor among your subjects, and I suggest you heed his words at least occasionally.
I want to know more about the cult of the Final Dawn.
Chaos worshippers. Most often agents of the throne run into lone renegades stirring up the rabble. Insane prophets and hysteric visionaries preaching the end of days. A passing comet, a mutant rebellion, an onslaught of monsters. Each time they come up with a new reason why people should prostrate themselves and quiver in fear. Much effort and the blood of those loyal to the Golden Throne were spent before we established the connection between those heretics. However, the cult of the Final Dawn is something greater than a gaggle of misguided seers and fortune-tellers.
Yep.
They cleverly spread their agents all over the Coronis Expanse, disseminating heresy among honest people on the Imperial worlds. There is a certain strategy to their actions that changes whenever we get too close. And finally, they have enough military power to have had the 2 ships that we had sent after them later discovered as wreckage. The growing difficulty in making warp jumps is detrimental to us but is unlikely to inconvenience those who engage in vile sorcery day in, day out.
Heinrichs sighs.
After the events on Rykad Minories, I suspected the cult might have built its nest inside Winterscale's domain, but the latest reports indicate it is your protectorate that is harboring heretics. Being in your entourage improves my chances of getting closer to their secrets.
I have already given you a place aboard my ship. What else?
The rogue trader should deliver me to the system that contains the industrial world of Kieva Gamma. I will then accompany you to the surface and determine what the cult is planning and how it intends to use the resources that have fallen into their clutches, which may very well include the blessed engines of the Adeptus Mechanicus and even the followers of the Omnissiah themselves. I will be frank, the answer to this question is unlikely to please either of us. The machinations of chaos usually go beyond solely inflicting countless deaths and destruction. Having their plans come to fruition would lead to far more terrible consequences. One of the systems in the Coronis Expanse is already lost. May the Emperor protect us from watching this tragedy play out again.
Let's assume Kiva Gamma has fallen to heresy. What then? Will you again propose we destroy the entire planet?
Heinrich stares you down.
On Rykad Minories, you made a decision that sent billions of souls into the grasp of the archenemy. An unreasonable and unforgettably high price for a small handful of people saved by your mercy. Do I consider it a worthy exchange? I most certainly do not. Will I make every effort to make sure such an exchange does not happen again? Of course I will. Sentimentality is a luxury I cannot afford.
I do not believe you lack compassion. You did not stop me after all. Although you certainly could have tried to.
The interrogator's eyes narrow.
I haven't said I would not like to be able to afford such luxury. In fact, deep down I understand why you acted that way. I have yet to eliminate the understanding and acceptance within myself, but I will.
Why did you suspicious fall on Kivagama?
Disjointed pieces of data that finally merged into a single picture. Additionally, not long ago a vessel from that world arrived on Footfall. The reports from the crew were confused and alarming, making me fear a planet-wide rebellion.
We met the Chaos Space Marine on Rykad Minoris. Do we risk running into his brothers?
I have no doubt it will happen sooner or later. Octavia the Fire Axe. Chaos Marine's siding with the cult is very, very bad news. Most likely they kept away until recently, pulling their puppet strings from a respectable distance. These traitors seldom show up alone. The best we can count on is having to deal with just a squad of Chaos Space Marines in the Coronis Expanse and not an entire company.
I won't let anyone throw their weight around on my world, be the Servant of Chaos, Xenos, or Heretic.
A commendable aspiration for a person who holds the fates of billions of people and dozens of Imperial worlds in her hands. Which is why you need to be ever more vigilant when looking for seeds of corruption on your planets, lest they sprout someday and spell doom for whatever is tangled up in their roots.
That's enough discussion about arch-enemy servant. Tell me about the Drukhari who stole Rykad's son.
Heinrich winces.
The Drukhari, one of the branches of the Ildari, an ancient and vicious Xenos race. Those creatures are a living terror to ordinary people who fall prey to their raids, for the simple reason that the victims are not killed outright but instead become their playthings just as you and I need air to survive. The Drukhari require psychic energy born from torment and pain, which they extract from their captives with uncanny expertise. Their ships, which are difficult to mistake for any other, arrive suddenly and undetected. Their stealth technologies greatly surpass the capabilities of standard Imperium auger arrays. The objective of their raids is never to capture a world or a ship, no, they are only interested in fresh victims. After filling their holds with living captives, they disappear into the webway, a different dimension, which conceals their greatest stronghold. Kamarak. The dark city of the Drukhari, from which none can hope to escape.
Heinrich studies your expression.
I do not know why the Drukhari stole Rykad's son and brought about the fulfillment of the cult's prophecies. Perhaps the Xenos themselves have played into the archenemy's designs. Or perhaps Aurora's divinations, in fact, described the Drukhari's actions. There is only one thing I can say with absolute certainty, there is no alliance between the cult of the Final Dawn and the Xenos. It is simply impossible.
Is there anything else I need to know?
Let me put it this way, you may think whatever you want of me, but my goal is not to hinder you. I am here to help you in the fight against foes you may not even be aware of. You have my word that I will provide every assistance in uprooting the heresy that has sprouted on the von Valancius worlds while their mistress was away, and that I will try to be more patient with the less grievous flaws the bearers of the warrant are sometimes known to have.
Heinrich inclines his head.
Thank you for sparing the time, Lord Captain.
Yep. Okay. I need to put a few grenades on, I think. I need to put a few grenades on. Okay, let's do this. Okay, that's still getting worked on. Okay, that's interesting. Filth of Expanse. We are going full in on this. Letarius, Helmsman.
The tall man before you appears to be woven from tendons and muscle. Blue vein snake under his white, almost dove-colored skin, and his scalp and chin are covered in cropped white hair. His neck and shoulders are wrapped in wires that hint at the presence of neural connectors under his uniform. The officer's face seems to be twisted in a perpetual grimace of annoyance and anger, but he greets you with a respectful nod.
Lord Captain. Master Helmsman Raver, at your service.
Do you know anything about a ship named the Fiery Reckoning?
Raver winces as if in pain.
I've heard the name, that much I'm sure of, but I can't recall the details. Ha, I wonder if it was part of that operation that the late Mort was put in charge of. If it was, then there's nothing I can tell you, Lord Captain. The whole thing was kept under wraps. Your best chance would be to ask the High Factotum, maybe some of his treasury records have mentions of this Fiery Reckoning.
Have you made the confession lately?
No, I'm up to my connectors and work as it is.
The orphans on the ship has already been provided with bare essentials, have they not?
The helmsman scratches the back of his head thoughtfully.
Damned if I know, Lord Captain. If you ask me, our orphans have it worlds better than they would on other ships.
Okay.
I'll be blasted if I understand a thing, but I'm here to serve. Lord Captain.
Raver acknowledges you with a nod and turns away.
Greetings.
Nope. Indrish.
The Lord Captain herself. To what do I owe the honor?
Have you made a confession lately?
Sounds like the start of an interesting conversation.
He looks you directly in the eye.
No, I have not.
Orphans in the ship's already been provided for bare, have they not?
The bare minimum, yes. I sometimes check in on our little ragamuffins. They don't have it easy, no parents, and they live like new recruits in an infantry regiment. Please, your ladyship, do not neglect the children.
Clearly you prefer private confessions.
You are right, I'm used to talking about important things in heart-to-heart conversations.
Heinrich flashes you a genuine smile.
Like the one we are having right now.
Okay, we are going to go...
Lord Captain.
About things that may be useful for a rogue trader. Okay.
Lord Captain.
We are going to Yugosta Sourback. No. Turn on.
The reflections of the bridge lights are playing on the unlit vid screens of the cogitator. Next to the machine stands a hunched tech priest, who bows as you approach, his body nearly folding in half.
Lord Captain. The machine spirit of this mechanism slumbers. Should you wish to awaken it, use the key of your blood.
Who are you and what was your purpose here?
My designation is IH-630.
The tech priest points his only mechadendrite at the machine beside him.
The venerated Engine Seer Prime has entrusted this sacred mechanism into my care. It is now my duty to assist in the rogue trader's understanding of the hallowed code.
What is this blood key I'm supposed to use?
The key you seek is the dynastic blood that runs in your veins. It is the only way to rouse this cogitator's machine spirit. When you are ready to do so, place your hand into the mouth of the Guardian Servitor on the blessed control panel.
Yep.
The servitor's powerful jaws close around your hand with a screeching clack. You feel the cold metal pierce your skin and draw blood. The tech priest by the cogitator nods curtly.
The sacred mechanism is awake and ready to receive your request, Lord Captain.
Able to discern how the ship was able to start its warp engines? Pascal has informed me the system has encrypted data stored inside. I wish to know its content.
Without another word, the tech priest turns to the cogitator. He raises his hands, and a prayer of binary code pours out of his Vox device. The servo motors in the bowels of the machine grow louder, its undulating hum responding to his chant. Numerical combinations run down the screens. Scanning 000.
The machine spirit has discovered numerous critical errors. The data is damaged.
The tech priest stops abruptly, and the green glow of his visor narrows.
Registering an intact segment. The machine spirit has spoken. The worlds of Kieva and Dargonis hold certain data repositories. The mechanism is ready to provide the rogue trader with data keys that can unlock said repositories.
Okay. What data repositories?
That remains hidden. The encrypted databank belonged to the esteemed Theodora von Valancius. She was the only one who could have known about these repositories. Perhaps the former Engine Seer Prime also could have known. Omnis Ia accept his code. If I were to propose a hypothesis, it would be most prudent of a figure as eminent as a rogue trader to store her classified data in receptacles most secure.
How do I accept these keys?
The cogitator's vid screen blinks.
The gracious machine spirit is willing to transfer the data keys to the head of House von Valancius by means of an electo, a hypodermic tattoo augment. If you are ready to accept the keys, place your hand inside the servitor's mouth.
Deep within the servitor's dark gullet, unseen, burning hot needles pierce your wrist, but the sharp pain only lasts a moment. The electro that has been planted inside your wrist should be enough to open the repository doors.
I need to know more about the caches.
The vid screens flicker rapidly. The tech priest's augmented fingers dart around the control panel.
The Omnissiah favors you. The machine spirit is willing to commence the calculation procedure that could restore the lost data.
Restore the data cache on located Dragonus.
The machine hums louder until it lets out a resounding crackle. Then the sounds stop, and an unmoving numerical combination lights up on the screen. The tech priest's synthesized voice sounds almost concerned.
The data has been restored, but it is only a single phrase. Litanies of the motive force, that is all the sacred mechanism was able to salvage.
Okay. I'm interested in the cache on Kiva Gamma.
The servo motors within the cogitator pick up the pace, their heavy thrum growing louder. The machine clicks abrasively for several minutes, until eventually, a numerical code appears on the screen. The tech priest turns to you.
Blessed are the Omnissiah's deeds. The repository on Kiva Gamma has a security system guarding it. The machine spirit has recovered a code that will allow you to disable the defenses.
I have other
The
questions.
tech priest bows.
Okay. So that means we might have some interesting aspects to it. That's good to know. Let's talk to Kibella as well.
Domin.
I would like to know more about the sacred mysteries of the Death Cult.
The Vizier taught us that there are many like us throughout the Imperium who spill blood in his name. Death cultists, as they call us. He said that no two death cults are the same, just as there are no two identical stars in the void. I will tell you about the blood-spun web, but I cannot speak on behalf of all death cults.
What is the cult's purpose?
The blood-spun web holds the bays of the flagship together with the threads of its faith. Such is our service to the Domini of the von Valancius line. The Undying One commanded the Domini to embark on a ship and sail the void's expanse. And thus, it became our duty to protect your dynasty and the Ark that became its home. This great relic of blood and adamantine. Some loathe and fear us. They call us murderers and reapers. Others call us dancers of death, who send the souls of the dead on their way. Both are right. Both are wrong. We are servants of the undying Emperor. When he whispers that the time has come for a righteous martyr's soul to be laid in his blessed hands, we come to claim it. When he whispers that the wicked must know of his wrath, we come to reap. This is how we maintain order on the ship, unseen and guided by death's will.
Hear a whisper in your mind telling you to kill someone and you obey. How do you know you've never made a be that as it may, thirst for blood and it's troubling. Let's speak about something else.
Kibella stares at you intently, perhaps too intently. She says nothing.
I've set aside my curiosity for now.
Kibella nods slightly.
You torture your own flesh. The meaning of the ritual. I am ready for the binding ritual.
Then follow me, Domin.
Hey. Okay.
Are you ready to step into the labyrinth, Domin?
What exactly are we going to do?
This is the ritual of binding. By the Undying One's will, our fates and ours one. But I must still guide you into the maze of my mind. Although it is my predestination alone to walk its corridors in search of answers, your image must become part of the tangle. For I am your shadow, Domin, and your presence will aid me in sensing whatever threats may be looming over you.
Is all this on the floor?
Instructions, directions, a depiction of the puzzle that can only be solved within one's own consciousness by following its bends and turnings. I do not require these lines to find my way, but for you, they will serve as a guiding thread.
I'm ready. Okay, Bella, let us begin.
Your weapon for the ritual. Watch the lines on the floor. You can only pass through the gaps. The rest, you need not know. Enter the labyrinth, Domin. You are now upon the path. Your shadow now walks the labyrinth, and my gaze can now see when danger draws near you.
Can you tell me what this really was? What the true meaning of the rite? Of this rite?
You are not required to understand. You have joined the ritual. That will suffice.
I only seek to understand why this matters to you. To understand you.
Understand me? Why, Domin? My fate is preordained, and our places assigned. We both must serve the Undying One, as his design foretells. But if such is indeed your wish, my path of service to the Undying Emperor is one of many twists and pitfalls. Every mind is fraught with weakness, and only by honing it tirelessly can one achieve focus and prime one's perception. I envision the tenets of the web as a maze of tangles and dead ends. Each time I go into a trance, be it one of the soul or of battle, I walk this path from beginning to end. And now that you're a part of it, you will be there with me when next I enter the labyrinth. You may deem it strange. You live in a world so far removed from my own that such rituals must seem absurd to you. I am sure I would find your rituals equally
Permits
mystifying.
herself to smile. A spark of flustered curiosity lights up in her normally aloof gaze.
To an outside observer, what happened here would have looked like an ordinary fight, but your senses grasp something more. They allow you to perceive a fragile bond that has formed between the two of you in the midst of this blade dance. It is as if Cabela's mind has opened up, reached out to yours, and acquainted itself with it. A surprising display of power and direction for someone who possesses no psychic abilities, or appears to be unaware of their own gift.
My rituals, what do you mean?
You are empowered by the will of the Undying One himself, and yet, when I look at your life, I am surprised. You follow a different thread, one that does not seem as strict to your thoughts and deeds. There is so much luster.
Would you like to see my world, Kybella? You allow me to you allow me to witness your ritual. It's only fair I show you one of mine. My world is more than mere luster. Perhaps it would help you if you have a look closer. Yes, you're right. Our rituals are simply too different. My world is more than mere luster. Would you like to see my world, Kybella? You are allowed to witness. I was allowed to witness your ritual. It's only fair that I show you one of mine.
To partake in one of your ceremonies? Returning the courtesy. That is how you say it up here, isn't it? I will await your invitation. The labyrinth has accepted you. We have danced amid the crossing lines and minds, and by the dance, we are now bound.
Okay. Is there a heavy flamer in the game? That's a good question. Come on.
The high factotum Janris Danroke greets you with a cool smile and the merest hint of a bow.
Pleasure to see you, Lord Captain. How may I be of assistance?
I want to know more about the people you buy our plunder. I wish to know. Would like to replace the paint in Late Theodora's chamber. Hang my portrait instead. Okay, enough.
I shall await your instructions, Lord Captain.
We are going to the. We are going to the astropath. I'm wondering what if I should actually start picking up some Henrik's, for example. Pick him up.
Patience! My nerves are frayed.
Faulty.
Sometimes you consult the appropriate treatise on Tactica Imperialis.
Let's
weigh
talk
every
to him.
step. Sometimes,
Choir Master Weiss turns toward you long before you reach him. A chill runs down your spine, as if someone were watching you from inside your own being. The strange sensation passes as suddenly as it arises. The choir master shakes his head.
I know why you are here, your ladyship. And with all due respect, I am asking you to reconsider.
Reconsider what? I have not asked my question yet.
You feel a strange anxiety as the old man's burnt-out eyes seem to probe your inner self.
Your intentions are fairly easy for me to infer. You are looking for mutineers, and the only reason you would come to your choir master is to order me to turn to the warp for answers. Your predecessor came to me with the same orders once. Nothing good came of it. Please believe me, Lord Captain, when I say a mountain of corpses was the least of the problems we faced that time.
You have... So you say you have performed the ritual before for Theodora?
Many years ago. It was a time when Lady Theodora had become anxious. Perhaps the Lord Inquisitor's interest in her affairs adversely affected her, shall we say, trust in her own subjects. She was expecting a betrayal, and eventually her paranoia brought her to me. I performed the ritual, but the choir ceased to exist. I remember that day, Lord Captain. When we arrived at the chapel, there was blood and human remains everywhere. But that was the least of the terrifying things we saw there.
What is the nature of this ritual?
It takes the entire choir's power to invade such a prodigious number of minds at once. I weave their voices into a chord and steer it into the murky sea of other people's souls. Together, we read tens of thousands of thoughts, emotions, and intents, looking for the thing we are after. The seed of corruption you are interested in.
Why is a word about the ritual?
Lord Captain, do you know the proverb about staring too long into the abyss? What you are asking for is tantamount to plunging the entire choir into that abyss. A ritual like that will require incredible focus from each of its participants. It will take a single careless thought, a single glance in the wrong direction, for the way back to be lost. Human minds fusing into one another, vitrified organs inside still living bodies, perverse fantasies manifesting in the flesh, nothing will stop the horrors of the warp from spreading all over the ship in the blink of an eye. And even if I agreed, it would be impossible. I would need a second powerful telepath as a defender to shield my mind. The last time, my best apprentice, Adeline, did that, but she is no longer with us. She was exceptionally talented, rivaling even myself. Now I know of only one psyker in the entire expanse who is her equal, but he is bound to the service of one of House Winterscale's planetary governors, and thus unavailable to us. Which makes your dangerous enterprise an impossibility.
How bad was it?
Worse than you can imagine, your ladyship. It only took a fraction of a second lingering inside another mind for one of the astropaths to lose control of their own. The affliction spread down the chain like fire. No one was spared. The minds of my charges could not withstand the tension. Their consciousnesses were caught in a vortex of alien thoughts. The fortunate ones died at once. As for the rest...
Argenta makes the sign of the Aquila.
Protect the souls of the stricken and take them under your wing, that your faithful servants may find peace.
The important thing I'm interested to know is, was the ritual successful that time? Did you find what you were looking for?
The choir master cowers, as if cornered.
I did find it. But the price. Yes, Lady Theodora got the names she wanted, but was it worth it? The tragedy has remained a secret hidden within the chapel, but we were a hair's breadth away from it becoming an epitaph inscribed on the ship's remains.
You blame Theodora, but it is fair to say my predecessor was being herself there.
Please, Lord Captain, learn from her mistakes instead of committing your own.
How did you survive?
I managed to send out a call for help and did my best to contain the phantoms on my own before Lady Theodora arrived. I was the only survivor out of the entire choir. Her ladyship allowed me to spend a month in a secluded cell upon whose floor and walls I drew the most powerful protective hexagrams I knew. I was crushed. I was broken. And, worst of all, I was afraid. Afraid of meeting the same fate as Adeline and my other apprentices. An astropath must never be afraid, your ladyship. One who yields to fear dies and dooms those around them.
How did you replenish the choir?
Lady Theodora bombarded the Adeptus Administratum for months with requests to provide her with a new astropathic choir. In the end, new voices did fill the chapel. They were never told what happened to the previous choir, but they have inklings. And I pray to the God Emperor that they never find out the details of that tragedy.
How is the ritual like this even possible? It's akin to heresy.
It is not heresy, but it is indeed a dangerous tool that will only yield to a mighty hand. That time, things were going all too well. The choir was many-voiced like never before. Adeline and my other talented apprentices sounded louder than the rest of astropaths in all of the expanse. We were strong and confident enough to take a bold gamble, and we lost.
I see.
That is the harsh truth, your ladyship. It must not be done.
We can find a psyker who is willing to help perform the ritual.
And who is it?
The choir master's smile, though courteous, seems ever so slightly sarcastic.
I have no time of finding you an assistant, guys. How about Idra?
Absolutely not.
This is the first time you have ever heard the choir master raise his voice.
She is a witch, an abomination. She will only make the situation worse. The beasts of the warp will sense her heresy-prone soul and descend upon us in droves.
Henrix is a psyker? Could he help?
Master Van Calix is a brilliant biomancer, your ladyship, but, as far as I know, he is not particularly adept at telepathy or psyker's protective rituals, is he?
I could help you with the ritual.
Weiss's smile has a hint of condescension.
With all due respect to your unquestionable talents, Lord Captain, I need a psyker capable of working with a specific branch of psychic knowledge, that being telepathy.
You mentioned knowing a powerful psyker employed by the Winterscale. Who is he?
Master Harriman is a seasoned telepath, but his lord would never part with such an incredibly valuable specialist. A sizable amount of money will be necessary to organize Master Harriman's escape.
I will hire professionals to set up his escape. Send a message to whoever ought to know.
As you please. Master Harriman will welcome the news of his forthcoming release. His present lord is quite unpleasant. I will report back once Master Harriman has been brought on board.
Okay, great.
Curiosity
So that is moving forward.
In my
That's great. That is absolutely great. That means that that quest is moving forward now. We lost 3 profit factor, but at this point we don't really... That's not really life or death for us. We roughly have 60 profit factor. The one thing I want is more Promethium, actually. More Promethium might mean that we have some other things we can deal with. Okay, I'm going to have a chat with... Do we have... Wait.
To what do I owe this visit?
Nothing...
Heinrichs politely inclines his head in response.
I'm looking for conversations that we haven't taken part of.
My apologies. 19% of my processing power is engaged in the analysis of my tech comrade's memory. My response time may be longer than usual.
You're not surprised but Amarad's word had such an effect on Opticon 22?
I was not knowledgeable as to how popular Blessed Amanad's teaching was in exploratory circles. The Cognizant's fleet is massive. His ideas might have found a larger following on its periphery than in the Mother Squadron.
Have you found out anything yet?
The data is scarce. His identification code is the same as mine, and his memory contains data confirming that the assassination did take place. Unfortunately, some of his memory was damaged by pulses broadcast by his battle harness. I can assert with some confidence that he was who he claimed to be, and that he served the Deus Mechanicus earnestly and eagerly.
He gave off the impression of a paranoid madman.
Notwithstanding his permanent state of agony, he was not cognitively dysfunctional. His desire to immediately destroy the object he had deemed profane was partly dictated by his engrammatic augmentics, which were receiving imperatives from his battle harness. In light of the oddness of our matching identification codes, I find merit in his hypothesis as to the existence of a clandestine malevolent agent or conspiracy operating inside our fraternity.
Amarant was a believer. He caused a schism. Frazen was a believer. He turned into a zealot. Faith can be dangerous.
Of course, faith is dangerous. Faith is the prerogative of the spirit, and a spiritless mind is an enemy of all existence. Without faith, there is no meaning in anything, no point to any aspirations or limitations. But faith can take different forms. The form of prohibitions established by unknown elders. The form of an audacious violation of those prohibitions. The form of following dogma or of schism. The form of following the cycle or of discontinuing the cycle. In a system with 2 courses of action, schism is inevitable. And only one of these paths will be true, as truth is discretely separate
I'm not ready for religious debate.
Acknowledged.
Perhaps you will find out more.
I will continue my research into the Blessed Martyr's memory with all due reverence. May you...
Okay. Does Ye have anything?
May the Exalted One protect you. Have you grown bored without our little talk,
Shiny
Sherry?
rapping, tell me about its dark side. Nope.
Oh.
We're not doing that right now. We're heading to Dragonus. We are heading to Dragonus.
Ship's enforcers notified officers about a strange insect-like creature appearing on the astropathic chamber deck. The entity was destroyed.
Entity was destroyed, blah 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 blah. It did not have any major impact, so I don't really care, honestly. We need to talk to Cassia. That was the thing I was thinking about. We need to talk to Cassia. Or anything else. Oh, Cassia is over here. Yeah.
Words cannot describe how boring the bridge is without our stimulating conversations. I have enjoyed your company.
So she said absolutely nothing of major value. Okay, that is just how it is sometimes, I guess.
Lord Captain, we have received a report from Darganus. Some common folk from the now ruined Scipion 84 to 249 have succumbed to the heresy of defiance. Forming into gangs known as engine vandals, they now ride across the wastes on wasteland-adapted cleaning Goliaths. They have declared themselves outside the law, raiding the hive's outskirts only to escape retribution in the toxic wastelands. Many of them did not want to obey your more than equitable decision to send them to the restoration site of Scipion, and thus they have fled the labor settlements, committing the heresy of disobedience. Rumor has it that the Foreman clan in charge of debris removal in the ruins of Scipion associates with these vandals. We could pass on your words to the renegades via the Foreman, or force them to disclose the locations of the rebels' nomadic camps.
Yeah. What is this for Foreman clan?
This is a union of the workers and the tech nomads who have been working on the lower levels of Scipion. Small-scale bosses of the watches and the shifts, useful common folk who have proved their worth with diligent labor and valuable knowledge. Of course, they stand much lower than the esteemed merchants, let alone the aristocrats, but the common folk heed their kin, and the Foremen have both the authority and the ability to manage them. The Scipions keep to themselves, but the Foremen have not shown any signs of disloyalty. They were the first to volunteer to return to the ruins of Scipion 84 to 249 and set up the debris removal project. They are certainly useful and are accustomed to praising the Emperor through their labor. Moreover, their grief at the loss of their home and the resilience with which they have accepted it made them to appear like heroes and martyrs in the eyes of other commoners.
How do they survive in the wastelands, and why do they decline my rule?
This is a rather uncomfortable way of life, your ladyship. They must always be wary of acid rain and hurricanes, moving a decent distance from the hives if they do not plan on raiding at that moment. They get their food from the abandoned outposts, paying for it with the lives of those killed by autonomous security systems. Water and promethium are rationed very strictly. They live by marauding, an occasional hunt, and plundering, sometimes their own kin and sometimes the outskirts of the hives. They are a tribe of degenerates and barbarians that is rapidly developing its own clan culture. The civilized residents of the hives shoot the scum any chance they get.
I wish to hear my advice, what my advisors have to say.
If the engine vandals have managed to tame the ancient machine spirits, then that means there are technomats or even tech priests among their ranks. That renders them negotiable. It would be efficient to utilize such renegades instead of disposing of them. A promise of reward for every piece of technology found in the wastelands of Darganus and returned back to Dynasty will ensure their obedience and tractability. If you wish to exterminate them, Elantach, do not waste your time on hunting them down. Instead, deceive them into destroying each other. Tempt them with a prize, a weapon, or a trophy that they can fight over. After the Monkey are finished slicing each other up for the right to obtain it, your warriors will finish the deed. This tactic often proves effective against your kind. The aristocrats of Darganus despise them, but are also secretly afraid of them, correct? Renegades who can invoke such fear. I wonder, had there been such exiles in my house, would their presence have curbed the ambitions of my brothers and sisters? Would they have supported me in case of conflict? Oh. I am scheming and conspiring right now, am I not? Bravo, Lady Cassia. Do not be ashamed of the unique abilities bestowed upon you by your heritage. They are your birthright. The web teaches to look for the enemy's vulnerability in what drives them. If the enemy is compelled to seek sustenance by attacking your domain, prepare a trap full of poisoned gifts. Let them eat and drink to their heart's content. The poison will weaken them. And then you will strike.
Wasteland Generator Security. Death Sword, Wasteland Twister, Complacency. Leader of the Vandals. Rogue Trader gains 1 movement speed. Mechanism, Profit Factor. I don't like that one. 5. What is it we have? Torpedoes. 5 short burning plasma torpedoes with. Could just poison them. Black Cassia. Cassia is right. Complacency. Security. We get a mechanism there. That's actually really good to have. Complacency. You know what? We'll do as Kybella says. Lay down the bait and poison the Vandals.
Poison is but a tool. The enemy will be condemned by their own vices. The Vandals took the bait, a defenseless caravan laden with provisions. The gangs feasted, unaware that the food and drink were flavored with powerful toxins. A wave of sudden death soon swept across the wastelands, followed by a ruthless punitive raid. The tribe's best warriors have died in the slaughter. The survivors were taken in by the Foreman clan. More workers are always needed for rubble removal. It will be years before the engine Vandals' numbers replenish and they can pose a threat once again.
Okay. Got the Filth of the Expanse built. Okay, great. We can now make the guild. Fellowship of the Void. We need weapons. That was the thing we needed. Okay. Genetic. And we can't build anything. We need more reputation or mechanism. We want this. We are going to Dragonus. We're going to Dragonus. Oh my god, our ship is 19 for... Yeah, we have the exact same they tried to give us. So, yeah. Administratum... Throne room. Okay. Use a shared portrait as target for abilities. Okay. That's actually kind of good things, yeah. Abelard has never stopped running, huh? Let's see if we can get this now, because I've never gotten into this room. Yeah, now we can see it.
By bringing your hand to the scan panel behind the books, you open a hidden door.
That's a lot of goods.
A mysterious item undoubtedly created by inhuman hands.
Okay.
The shelves of the library are laden with dusty tomes. Your eyes linger on the works of several administratum adepts and the memoirs of some unfamiliar explorer of distant death worlds. A mysterious item undoubtedly created by inhuman hands. A mysterious item undoubtedly created by inhuman hands.
These gloves grants bonus to tech use and increase the damage of plasma weapons by 3. That's really great. Whenever hits an ally with an area attack, the wearer gains 1+ stack of Zealot. Zealot wearer deals 10% damage with their area attacks for each stack of Zealot. Okay, that's really good.
Strange objects lie behind the glass of the display case. The complete absence of explanatory labels makes it impossible to learn what they are.
And sit down.
This secret room is remarkably quiet and almost homely. Perhaps your predecessor used it when she sought complete solitude. Listening to the muted melody coming from the Vox speaker, you can easily imagine Theodora reading a book with a glass of expensive wine in hand.
A glass of
3
wine.
sealed bottles sit on the sturdy-looking low table. They are labeled Grandmaster's Blood, Boon of Terror, and Flame of Purity.
Grandmaster's Blood.
The full-bodied wine is sickly sweet, and you feel a warm sluggishness wash over your body. A siren shatters the tranquil atmosphere in the room. Alarms have been sounded.
What's going on? Name whoever has entered her ladyship chamber will be eliminated. Your ladyship, the deepest apologies for the intrusion. You require assistance, but on a second thought, we better leave this place. Leave you in peace. Okay.
After the alarm and the palace guard's intrusion, the calm and comfortable atmosphere of this room has faded somewhat. Not even here can a rogue trader find a moment of privacy.
Here's a book.
Several books are stacked next to the sofa. Some appear ancient, while others look like they have never been opened. Among Theodora's data that has been restored using your cogitator is the phrase Litanies of the Motive Force. It is the title of one of the books here.
Litany of Motive
As you pick
Force.
up the book, a hidden button in its spine clicks under your finger.
Change the
The
music.
vid screen of the data slate before you displays the names of several Vox symphonies. You recognize the melody that is playing right now. It is the first of 36 parts of the Symphony of Honor and Duty.
Symphony of Honor and Duty. Part 2?
The music in the speakers momentarily grows louder, filling the entire room, then goes back to normal, seemingly without any change. 3 sealed bottles sit on the sturdy-looking low table. They are labeled Grand Master's Blood, Boon of Terror, and Flame of Purity.
Flame of Purity, then. Boon of Terror, I guess?
The full-bodied wine is sickly sweet, and a siren shatters the tranquil atmosphere in the room. Alarms have been sounded.
Trespassers, surrender, killed. It's you, Apollo, we're leaving. Okay, so...
The room is still with
have a glass
3
of
sealed
wine. Flame of Purity.
The wine fills the glass, glittering in the dim light of the room like liquid gold. Its tangy flavor burns your throat, leaving behind a spicy, biting aftertaste. You hear a short, faint hum as an unseen motor stirs into motion. The room responds to your actions with a quiet grinding sound, and a small nook reveals itself in the nearby wall. Inside, you find a databank bearing the von Valancius coat of arms.
Nice. Okay, so we got ourselves a new weapon, a new glove for Pascal. Weapon skill and strength, no. There we have it. Tech and plasma damage. That is just solid one. Increased plasma damage. Okay, what is going on? Okay. We now have discovered that. That is great. Honestly, we are now heading to the void ship. Plan is to travel to Footfall and call it for today. It's been a bit of a shorter stream than usually because it started later, but we gotten a fair bit done. We gotten a fair bit done right now, so that's good.
The clan servicing the Void Shield arrays petitioned the Lord Captain for aid. Compartments were becoming overrun with putrescent fungal corruption. Your ladyship, Master Heremon, succeeded in his escape and has arrived on board. He has almost completed the ritual of harmonization with the rest of the choir, which has given our voices greater strength and cohesion. We have made our preparations and are awaiting your arrival to start the ritual as soon as you give the order.
Okay, we're not starting that today, because I have a feeling that's going to be a long thing. We are heading over here.
A familiar voice cuts through.
We don't have anything say that, but yeah. Long range plasma, 21 damage, 3 shots. Okay. Buy that. Black armor allows flak shot to be fired from kinetic macros. A flak shot deals 15 damage to each target. Okay, so that's new. I'm fairly sure that's new. 80. Oh, that is just fantastic upgrade. Four shot, 27 damage. What is the last thing now? Yeah. Adamantine. We are heading into Footfall. And we are going to... We're going to the Void. Fellowship of the Void. It's Fellowship of the Void has been like my go-to like ally throughout the whole thing.
They will see. Oh yes, they
And
all
Abelard has
see.
decided that he won't stop running. Never stop running.
Welcome back.
Okay. So we have... That's an upgrade to what... On board... Okay. We just look at this. That's 7,000. So that's going to be at least 3 ranks. That put us here. Whenever the wearer performs a melee attack after a range attack, the target of the melee attack should be knocked prone. Okay. Not something we actually care about. Okay. So we are then heading over to...
One step at a time, amidst the madness.
We are heading over to Mechanicus because we have profit factor there. We also have more rewards to get there. Because we helped the outpost. We didn't help them fully. We did not help them fully. But we have a lot of stuff we can get from Opticon 22. So that is kind of where we're going right now. Opticon 22.
Access has been granted to the following options: information exchange, strengthening of diplomatic links, // trade deals / donate.
With a respectful nod, the
Okay.
tech priest takes the data slate.
Information assistance will be provided.
Why even here instead? What is the cognitive strange name? Nope.
Information assist.
Let's trade. We could. Okay. I see. I want to do one thing. That. Add to cargo. That. Add to cargo. Add to cargo. Okay. Cargo. 8,000. That would put us, roughly speaking, here. The wearer gains 1 plus AP for consecutive turns. The wearer has not spent AP or MP. The eliminator, run and gun, cover efficiency. Okay.
What lies beyond?
We are going to dump a lot of resources this time. The regent is the one we're going to talk to next, because he is the one we actually need to get our reputation up if we want to increase, want to get the specific things we want. I think we need him to have like 27,000 reputation or something like that. Ridiculous. So we need to grind it out to actually get stuff for him.
Greetings.
Upon noticing...
Rest assured, I will be candid. My lips are bound by the oath of service. I'm glad to have satisfied... Rest assured. I'm glad...
Okay, so we actually have the first one unlocked. That is actually really good. Whenever it hits a shot, it poisons the target with viral toxin for 3 rounds. Okay, commissar boots. Each time the wearer spends 10 stacks of tactical inventory, gain 1 resolve until the end of combat. $9,000, huh? Heretic, Xeno relics. Uniform, jewelry. You don't accept holy gifts, huh? It's actually a good thing for us in general. You know what? Yes. We're almost at... We're at precision bolter. Blade. Whenever the wearer hits an opening with... Okay, we'll buy those as well. The Psycho Staff as well. Okay. And now we talk to Dracian, and that's going to be it for today. We got a fair bit of reputation though.
Heresy grows.
We got a fair bit of reputation, huh? What is the goods there? Okay. Absolute dog shit. Good to know. Good to know.
The Emperor protects.
Give him the diary. It pretty much shows how that one man that stayed on the ship got screwed over. Yep.
He studies the diary for a while in silence, then says grimly,
Captain Verkle was a kind but fallible man. So was my brother in service, Gravik. So were the millions of pilgrims who boarded the Wasteland Wayfarer many years ago. It grieves me that their kindness failed the test that the Void presented them with. Let their deaths serve as a reminder to us, corruption has many faces and can stain even the purest of souls. Thank you.
Okay, we're up to... We can get 5k reputation. Roughly speaking, that's 2 ranks, so that would put us here. Multi-key, it's not really something we are looking for. Do we have an absence of weapons? We don't really have an excess of anything right now. I've been just throwing away stims. That is the one thing I've been throwing away. It has 2 charges to slash ability, yet reduces weapon skill. These are ones that actually sounds interesting. The effect enemy immediately turns into an ally and gains an extra turn. As soon as extra turns ends, the target turns back into an enemy. All enemies on difficulty tier 5 and above are immune to this effect. Okay.
The Emperor protects.
Thought we actually would get like a reputation bonus or anything like that, but doesn't seem like it. Mechanicus, yeah. Okay, yeah. Let's trade it. Not fully. That is actually... That is actually kind of good. And now we just do the last thing. We have pretty much dealt with all the things except like the main goals in the system. So that is something to take into account. other than that, we've pretty much done everything in this act, and that's kind of what it comes down to. We're starting to round off things to get to the point where we just can move on to the next act.
Form A/716B is valid for up to 11 hours from the placement of the stamp. You have submitted it after 14 hours and 8 minutes. Access has been granted to the following options.
Reputation, select all, trade. Not enough. Okay. So many work glove. That has double penetration, or double 50% penetration.
There will be no peace in my
The Enver are driving us up the wall.
We have a fair few more quests to do in the base. Bum, bum. Okay, what was it I was thinking about? Do you actually have? Yeah, you have toughness, 5+ toughness in the wear. Have less than 35 intelligence. Yeah. No. What do we have we can put in its place? Immune to that. Where it hits an enemy in melee range, the wearer's nearest ally gains 7 temporary wounds. That is a solid one. Also, we got ourselves a new chest piece. And it was this one. Death World Origin. So that's actually... dodge against humans. Yep. Got ourselves a new chest piece. I really should consider actually gaining more. That's the thing that I'm lacking the most, I feel like, is actually good good clothing, if that makes sense. Like, this is actually kind of good. Ignores the first critical. Armor based. Base armor property 9% dodge if they wear. Willpower is more than 40. But I lose more because the 10 agility gives me more. Okay, yeah. And it also gives me more armor overall. Maybe I should try to get more resolve on certain characters. That's actually a fair point. We lose... Tactical advantage. +1 resolve each time. It's so horrible though, it looks absolutely horrendous. What do you have? You have persuasion gloves. Have we gotten anything more interesting for you? Grenade, psyker. Apex Predator melee parry without weapon skill and strength. What do you have? That's a good coin. All attack agility bonus. You know what? The end of the wearer's turn gain temporary wounds equal to the amount of collision damage. No, let's put those on. Boost that one up as well. Should we build Henrix as a collision damage warrior? That would be kinda hilarious, wouldn't it? Because we have a lot of things that actually gain collision damage. And honestly, I think you're better off with this one. Voice of Command. Makes the attacker during an extra turn increase damage by 24%. That sounds a lot better. You're at still almost like a lot of stats of everything pretty much. And we're really close to leveling up. Anyway, that is going to be it for me today. Heretical, it is stream 15, right? Yeah. This is going to be it for me today. I really don't know how it's going to be. I'm probably going to go to the hospital tomorrow and see if anything actually shows up. So I don't know if I'm going to stream anymore tomorrow or the day after. We will see. Anyway, if you want to see the rest of the stuff, just check on YouTube. Everything is getting uploaded there. And if you see this, thank you very much. Good night.